So, one of my dear friends was chatting to me a little while back, and she said, I'd love for you to do a video on grief because I feel like there's some stuff there to be talked about, and that there isn't just one part of grief. And I was like, okay, sure. And I've actually had some notes written down for a little while, but for some reason I haven't been able to record it. So I like to be able to record things when it feels like the right time and I feel like things are going to flow. And I feel like for some reason that's today. And so I'm talking about grief because, I don't think there's anyone here, you and I included, that has never experienced grief. And the thing is, like, there's so many layers to grief. That's why I've called it 50 Shades of Grief, because there's so many. And you could say that about any emotion, really. But there really is so many aspects for someone to have to go through to experience this. So obviously there is the very obvious one of losing someone. That is gut-wrenching. It is gut-wrenching, and how you lose them, why you lose them, all that sort of stuff. It's huge. It's just huge. Like, there's no words for it, is there? Because it's just so big. And obviously from a looking out, like, observer, you're looking at the world like a game, you're watching from consciousness back here, and you go, okay, everything's playing out how it's supposed to. There's purpose and reason for why that person had to go, why that person had to stay, and all of that sort of stuff. And you know that energy isn't neither created or destroyed, it just changes form. So you can look at it from that lens. You can look at it from that lens and go, okay, yeah, so I know that that's what happens. But that doesn't take away the humanness of it. You're going to experience so many different emotions from losing someone that you love, like, without a doubt. And I know I'm speaking from experience, and I know that you are someone who at the other end of this would have no doubt experienced something along these lines. And it's a tough one. But there are so many other levels of grief as well. So when you're looking at, like, maybe you didn't get the upbringing that you wish you could have had. Again, though, when you look at it big picture, and if you are of the mindset that, yes, we choose our parents, we choose our experiences, we choose to come through and learn specific lessons so that we can grow and evolve. And that being the case, you can go, okay, well, I can see why I chose those experiences. Again, doesn't take away the humanness of it, doesn't take away the gut-wrenchingness of it, and it doesn't mean that what some people do to other people is right. Bloody oath it's not. But it's just like looking at that and going, okay, like, I'm grieving of what I could have had. I'm grieving the fact that there was this lover in your life that you wanted to be with, but you can never be with because the timing wasn't right, and it wasn't meant to be. You're grieving the time lost as someone who's getting older, realizing, like, wow, when I was younger, that was the memories that I was making. I was in it and I didn't even realize. Like, there's so many levels and so many shades. And, like, it can be other things as well, like losing a job, or but again, like, you can see that you're being shifted onto another path. Like, if you've lost a job, maybe that's the universe or God, the creator, or your higher self, whatever rings true for you, shifting you into the right path because you're not quite in alignment, and it's part of it. But there's still grief there. And so there's so many layers to it, and I just felt like today was a day to chat about it, because in order for us to express ourselves and grow and evolve, we need to also feel these feelings. So if you are feeling sad or experiencing grief in any way, like, it's there to be felt so that it can be processed and moved through. And I go like that because I think of the Taurus field thing. I hope I'm calling it the right thing. But our energy is supposed to move and go through us, and when we hold on to stuff and we don't express them, it creates a block in our energy field. And so in order for us to heal and to like keep things free flowing, like it's important for us to feel those things. And I mean, that's why there's it's not just about talk therapy these days. There's somatic work, because your body holds it all. And it's important to, like, even if you could do something like, if you experience something and you're in shock, or you like, you just like, even if you just had to stop the car when you were driving one day, like all of a sudden because someone ran across the road and you just missed them, like that went into your body and you're like, holy shit. So then you just shake it out and just really just shake that out in that moment. Just go, okay, so that you can like express it and let that energy flow rather than let it stick in there. I mean, that's just a little tool, but it is something that's quite helpful if in that moment. So yeah, I'm looking down at these notes now, just because I want to make sure that, well, yeah, I mean, the grief, I didn't even mention this one, like the ancestral grief, when you're holding on to shit that's not actually yours, and you're feeling sad, and you don't know why, like there's a good chance that is shit that's been passed down through generations. And if you're feeling it and you're noticing it and you're like, what is this? Like you're the I was going to say deal breaker. You're the code breaker. That's not the word. The circuit breaker. Oh, we're all familiar with that one. But you're the circuit breaker. You're noticing it. So you're the one who's going to break that cycle. And I think there's a lot of us that have been doing a lot of that work. Like, and it's come through the generational stuff. We're like, it's heavy. And like, another one is shame. Oh, and guilt as well. Like you've got this shame and guilt that's come through that you don't even know where it's come from. Like my dear friend who was talking to me about this, we've had so many awesome chats, and she was saying, like, if something is so big that it doesn't make sense, like right now, like I remember I was experiencing something and I was like, I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from. Like I'm trying to piece it together, because that's the kind of person I am. And she's like, if it's something that big, it's got to be past life. It's got to be something that's been or brought through, is what I added. It's like, it's not necessarily yours. And so it is, in the sense that we're all connected, soul family, all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, like, it's come through and you're noticing it. So unfortunately or fortunately, it's up to you to kind of like break it right there. And I think that's okay. Like it just means like you're the person that's got to do it. And sometimes it sucks because it's so gritty and it's just like, man. But also, like, you wouldn't be being faced to hold this kind of stuff and to break this sort of stuff and to end these kind of things if you didn't have the strength and the courage and the capacity to do it in any case. And so that's why, like, even though I've recently done some chats about, okay, we've done our healing, what's next? At the same time, like, if you are someone that's doing the healing work and going through all that stuff, like, it takes so much courage. It takes so much courage to do all that. And it isn't just a walk in the park. Not everyone's going to do it. Honestly, not everyone does. But the strength and the wisdom and the inner, like, trust and knowing for yourself when you do that, when you feel the grief, when you feel what it is that you're going through and you let it pass. You let it out and you let it pass. Like, it is so powerful. It is so powerful. Like, I think I've spoken about this a few times. Like, I remember one time I was sitting at the end of my bed, but on the floor, and just like this feeling, it was just so like from the depths of my soul of just absolute grief and sadness just poured out of me. Like, it's, that real, just like that cry, like it just comes from so deep. And even though it was sad and hard, at the same time, at the exact same time, it was beautiful and clearing, and it was allowing me to just let stuff go. And I would knew, and I at the same time was feeling so sad and gutted that I was feeling lighter and brighter already. And it's so weird that all of that would be feeling in that one moment, but that's sort of like the paradox of it all, because yeah, it's sad. Like, because I've got another person who I really just adore, who finds it really hard to cry and to let it out, and she's going through such a process of now doing that, and to be able to be with her while she's actually crying was like, oh my gosh, such an honor, because I know how big and how deep it's been, to not let that out. And a lot of us have done that our lives. We've repressed stuff. We're like, don't show emotion, be seen and not heard. Make sure you've like, there's not anything there, like just smile and nod, like just, yeah. So that's a level of grief that can come up, and I know that we can get scared of it because it's something that's been kept so far down. You just think of how, like, the basketball that's been pushed down in the ocean, but it's got to come up, and the further you push it down, the bigger up the ball's going to come up when it pops out the ocean. So it's okay. Everything is as it's supposed to be. So if that ball pops up and you howl for like 3 days straight, doesn't matter. Like, you are clearing it. And I know that it's just like, once you pop the cherry of it, you'll realize that it's okay. It's just an emotion. Like, I've got another person that I was doing a one-on-one reading with, and one of the things that they were sort of grew up with, and I think many of us were like, was it was bad to be sad. So it's sort of like hey, you go to your room, don't come out until you finish crying. Or if you're crying, if you're gonna cry, I'll really give you something to cry about. Like, those kind of things. Like, I know that a lot of us experience that, and it's not, it's people, the parents and society doing the best that they can with what they knew how. But in that time of growing up, it's like, no, being and expressing yourself is bad. Just be good. Just be good. And so this person I'm working with was really associating having emotions as bad. Like, the only emotions that are good are the ones that were happy and nice all the time. And you and I both know that that's not possible. That's not normal. Like, we're all human. We're going to have all the experiences, and no feeling is bad or good. They're just the emotion. Like, no emotion is bad or good. It's the emotion. You got anger. The anger's there. You got sadness. The sadness is there. It's not bad or good. It's just sadness or anger or, whatever it might be. So if we're labeling these emotions as good or bad, then that's not helping either. So that's why, coming back to grief, like, grief isn't bad. It's an emotion. It's something that we all go through, and it can come in many different layers and many shapes and sizes. And what might be something gut-wrenching for someone, that may not be the same for the other person somewhere else, but that doesn't matter. What that person is feeling in that grief is something that they are there to experience, and maybe there's something underneath it that's making it even bigger, and that's for that person to explore and discover. But we're all human, and we're all going to have these different layers and these different feelings come in at any given time in our lives, because that's the human experience. So yeah, I wanted to chat a bit about that today, and just to dive into that. And I don't know if I covered it how I thought I would, but hopefully it has been helpful in some way, and that you've got something out of it. I would love to hear from you and to get your take on it. Obviously, there's so many layers to things, and I don't think things are just black and white all the time. There is a lot of grey, and I used to want things to be just black and white and it's easy. But yeah, no, there's always different layers, many layers, and many shades of grey and colour as well. So yeah, share away in the comments. We'd love to hear what you thought about this one. Love any insights that you share, because I'm always learning from you, and I know that people learn from what other people write in the comments as well too. So share away. And as always, if you're not on my weekly newsletter yet, that is my free newsletter I send out each week. I will pop that in the description so you can jump on that and we can hang out there as well. And if you like this video, give it a like, thumbs up. If not, well, don't. But stick around if you want to hang out a bit longer. I'll pop another video on screen now that I think you might like too. So as always, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in another video soon.